This weekend, Zac Lomax signs with the PNG Chiefs. Welcome to the Sports Playbook. I am Daniel, and we are Australia's weekly sports news podcast covering men's and women's sports. So here's everything that happened this weekend in sports. In NRL, more injuries rock the NRL. The Eels took on the Panthers in the Battle of the West in the first game of round 21. But the Eels, they actually provided a scare to the Penrith Panthers. But the Panthers class was just too good in the end, and it showed. 24-18, and the Panthers still lead the NRL competition. The Roosters took on the Knights in a tight affair, with the Roosters just getting the win 23-22. But there were two massive injuries to come from this game. Dylan Brown, the $13 million man for the Newcastle Knights, suffered an ACL injury in a devastating blow. On top of this, Dylan Lucas from the Knights also suffered a dislocated ankle. Both Dylan Brown and Dylan Lucas will miss the remainder of the 2026 NRL season. The Rabbitohs, they beat the Storm by 2 points, and this puts a massive dent into the Storm's finals chances. For the Raiders, they dusted off and they smashed the West Tigers 56-10. And for the West Tigers, it was a terrible week to say the very least. This club is definitely not going in the same direction as what it was at the start of the year. The Bulldogs, they beat second place the New Zealand Warriors 18-6, and they are showing some serious fight heading into the finals campaign. The Cowboys beat the Broncos and put their finals chances on life support. And the Titans, they have knocked off the Dragons, and they appear to lock the Dragons into a wooden spoon for 2026. And the final game, the Sharks demolished the Sea Eagles. In F1, Malaysia is set to return to the calendar. An announcement is expected imminently, but it's set that F1 is going to go back to Malaysia. Now, this track used to be on the F1 circuit from 1999 until 2017, and it hasn't returned since. This is because the Bahrain Grand Prix back in April was postponed due to what is happening currently in the world. Now, as it stands, there's not been an official announcement, but it appears that the Sepang circuit in Malaysia will make its triumphant return. The Sepang circuit has been a favourite for Formula 1 drivers. It's tight, it's technical, but it also has fast-flowing corners and long straights. What's interesting here is the last two race winners have both been from Red Bull Racing. 2016, Daniel Ricciardo, and 2017 being Max Verstappen. For Australian fans, this will be an exciting one, because it's back in a good time zone for Formula 1 fans. It's expected that this Malaysian race will drop in between the Azerbaijan Grand Prix and the Singapore Grand Prix at the back end of this year. The date that's expected is the 2nd to the 4th of October, with Grand Prix Sunday being the 4th of October. So if you're a rugby league fan, that is the grand final day. In netball, the Australian Diamonds kick off their Commonwealth Games campaign. The Diamonds faced off against Tonga in the opening game of their campaign. For the Diamonds, it was fair to say that they put away Tonga quite easily. The final score in this game was 99-38. And one thing to factor in international netball is there is no super shot in this. So that is just individual goals. 99 from Australia. That was a dominant display of netball. But the Diamonds will face the England Roses tonight as we record Sunday the 26th of July at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. In Rugby League, Adam Doueihi is set to walk out of the West Tigers. This has not been confirmed by the West Tigers or by Adam Doueihi directly himself, but it is clear that there is a massive fracture with the West Tigers organisation being Benji Marshall and Adam Doueihi the player. What has happened here, and it's been reported by Code Sports, that Adam Doueihi is not happy with Benji Marshall. Adam Doueihi wanted to play halfback, but Benji Marshall said if he was going to play against the Canberra Raiders that happened on Saturday, he would be playing in the lock position. It's been reported that Adam Doueihi walked out of that meeting and has not returned to the West Tigers since. Now, what's set to happen is there's meant to be peace talks with the West Tigers CEO, Benji Marshall, and Adam Doueihi. But there's been a lot of noise when it comes to this general situation. The The only thing I will add to this situation is who is Adam Doueihi's manager. If you look closely, Adam Doueihi's manager is Isaac Moses, and what's been coming out recently is the situation is untenable with the West Tigers. Now you only need to look back 12 months where Lachie Galvin walked out of the West Tigers, and who was Lachie Galvin's manager? It was Isaac Moses. So there's a lot of noise coming out of the West Tigers, and it's a really unfortunate situation. If you look back over 14 weeks ago, which is quite a while, but the West Tigers sat second in the NRL competition. That's right, second. From that point, Jarome Luai went to PNG. That weekend, he signed a contract to be the first player for the PNG Chiefs. Since that point, the West Tigers have not been able to get on the same role they had at the start of the year. And this is a very unfortunate situation for West Tigers fans, but the West Tigers club in general. What's interesting here is Adam Doueihi is actually contracted to the West Tigers until the end of 2029. But it appears that Doueihi could be leaving much sooner than this, if not in 2026. So will this situation repair itself, or will Adam Doueihi walk out of the West Tigers, and this will be a massive moment for this club? This week's podcast will be short and sweet. I've got the man flu, I don't need any sympathy, but it's going to be short and sweet, so you do have your fast sport news still. But we head into our main story, and it is Zac Lomax has signed with the PNG Chiefs. It's been officially announced on Sunday, the 26th of July at about 4 p.m, but Zac Lomax has now become the new PNG Chiefs signing. Zac Lomax is officially player 005. So Lomax is currently with the Western Force until the end of 2027. That's his contracted period. The hope here is Lomax wants to play for the Wallabies in the Home World Cup in 2027. But Lomax has signed a deal with the PNG Chiefs for the 2028 season. For Lomax, there's no doubt he's a generational talent. He's represented the New South Wales Blues and the Australian Kangaroos. So at the end of the day, Zac Lomax will be returning to the NRL. And interestingly, he could have had the option of joining the Melbourne Storm this year, but he chose not to do this. He chose to stick out his Western Force deal, but he will be joining the Chiefs. There's no details around how long it's expected he'll stay there, but it's apparently 2 to 3 years. That's not been officially confirmed, but once I do, I will let you know. So there's no doubt this is a massive signing for the PNG Chiefs. And the PNG Chiefs already have some incredible players on their roster. Jarome Luai, Alex Johnston, Connor Watson, and plenty more to come. So this is one to watch for any rugby league fan, because you would think if the PNG Chiefs don't make the finals in their first year, this could be a massive miss. And with that, we head straight into our state of play. So where are the standings at in rugby league? For the Panthers, they continue to lead the competition, 34 points, followed by the Roosters, the Warriors, and the Sharks. They round out your top four. Below this, you have the Dolphins, the Rabbitohs, the Knights, and the Cowboys. This rounds out your top 8. The key teams at the back half of the 8 include the Bulldogs in 9th position, 24 points, only 2 off the top 8. The Seagulls and the Raiders, they are both 10th and 11th and on 22 points. So the Bulldogs are 2 points out of the 8, but the Seagulls and the Raiders are 4 points outside the top 8. One to watch in the coming weeks. So that is your weekend wrap. This is short and sweet. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get all the fast sport news, but rest assured I will be back next week with all of the week's big stories and everything coming up from the weekend. So, expect an episode on Thursday, and until then, follow the Sports Playbook on socials and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode.